Hello, welcome to Solo Strategic Playthroughs. My name is Jeff, and once again, I'm continuing my Gloomhaven 2nd Edition campaign. This time, doing another solo scenario for the third time in a row. I am going to be sending out one of my characters by themselves at level 5, able to do the solo scenario. This time, it is going to be the Saw class. When last we left off, Rita, the music note class, had done her solo scenario. I did it on hard mode the first time, so then tried it again. Succeeded very well, but screwed it up again. I missed an important rule, which is that the allies of yours are supposed to draw from their attack deck. I was just using static values. I actually think because of one of the music notes cards that she had in play, I probably would have done even better if I had drawn from the attack modifier deck. But that said, we're ready to move on. I will be very careful, including the errata for the Saw class, to make sure that I get things right. But spoiler alert, let's take a look at the city phase for the Saw class, my character Helo. All right, to be clear, normally with a solo scenario, there is no city phase, there's no road event. It kind of exists as its own thing. However, technically, you do the city phase at the end of a scenario. So a couple of episodes ago, when I finished a scenario, I usually do the city phase starting at the beginning of the next one. So I am just going to show you the city phase for Helo, which included his level up to level 5. So you can see his character sheet here. And now for his level up, we'll start with the perk. I've been focusing on tightening up his deck, replacing the negative ones with plus ones, but I thought going into the solo scenario, probably a good idea to have a little bit more healing. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the healing rolling modifier card. For his level up card, I was looking at the level 5s, Fortifying Injection and Hack to Bits. Now, in the case, if you haven't watched any of the rest of my campaign, Helo is my frontline attacker in addition to being my healer. So most important for my playstyle is to be able to have him do plenty of damage, to have him have flexible movement, although he does have really good movement from his boots. We'll get to his items in a moment. But mainly for the double attack up top, I decided to go with Hack to Bits. Well aware that the other card probably really good for the solo scenario, but there are a couple cards that I noticed that I haven't taken because I'm not using Helo as support that would be good for the scenario, but we'll see if I can do it without them. For Helo's market phase, he only had one consumable item, so now that he's level 5, decided to pick up 2 more. In order to get enough money, I did end up selling off the Sword of the Sands, which is fine. I'm going to replace that soon anyway. Was a nice card, but not that useful. Instead, I got him Stun Powder, which should definitely help with some crowd control in this coming scenario, and Power Potion, which, as I said, he's my frontline attacker. He's got a couple of ways of getting off multiple attacks, so every little extra bit of damage can certainly help. Now, running through the rest of his equipment that he already had, maybe not necessarily the optimal choices for the class or the way I'm playing him, but should be noted that his personal quest involves wanting to have faction items. So I've been prioritizing getting faction items, the ones that do fit him best. So the studded leather armor, certainly good. The comfortable shoes have come in really handy, being able to do that move 3 on the bottom. The Iron Spear's been a great pickup for him, giving him some flexibility to be able to do his healing. A lot of his healing effects require him to be in range 1, so this gives him a little more flexibility to be able to also attack enemies. As for the Circlet of Elements, not that useful. Really only got it because it's a faction item. Occasionally, there could be a situation where if an enemy generates an element that I don't want them using, I could change it out for something else. And finally, he's got a stamina potion, which he doesn't often need to use. He's got a pretty good longevity among my crew, but he's definitely going to be using it this game. As of now, I plan on doing it on round 3. And yes, I have planned that far out in advance. Speaking of which, let's head over to the scenario. So here is the setup for the scenario aftermath. And as I did with the music note class, I will go ahead and do a dramatic reading. A great thunderous sound wakes you from your sleep, a calamitous noise of men shouting and earth cracking. As you leap from your bed, pull on some clothes, and grab your equipment, The chaos outside only heightens. There are screams and a powerful rumble of stone that shakes the ground, nearly knocking you off your feet. You race toward the disaster as fast as you can, only to find a horrifying scene. Some demonic force has blasted its way through the earth up into the city, leaving a wake of devastating destruction. Buildings lie in ruins. Great sections of the wall have been toppled over, leaving stone and rubble scattered throughout the area, and the assault is still in full swing. Demonic creatures swarm those still able to fight, while many injured soldiers lie in the rubble, moaning. For a second, you freeze, unable to decide what to do next. Then, an Inox soldier grabs you by the arm and yells above the chaos, "I need your help! Tend to the wounded while I fight back the onslaught." Alright, so now let me run through the special rules for this scenario, the object of which is to rescue the guards, all of the guards. So we have here an Inox soldier, Hawthorne, who is my ally. He will not be drawing any ability modifier or any ability cards, but he will be drawing from the attack modifier deck when he attacks. However, I do get to control him. He's kind of like an extra character I've got. So that is Hawthorne. He starts at 16 of 20 health. When he's back at full, then he will be able to add +1 to his attacks. I can also play prescriptions on him. Then we've got the city guards, who are allies to me, ignored by the enemies. They cannot be targeted, they cannot be damaged. They all start down 4 damage. In order to rescue them, I have to either heal them back up to full, or I can give them a med pack. And if I give them a med pack, they're then able to take an action where they can go ahead, move and attack and stun. I can't control the action. They'll follow normal monster movement, but certainly I'll have a pretty good sense of what they're going to do when I give out the med pack. Very important rule that was not printed in the rules. It's in the FAQ. There is errata, which is outside of that, the city guards do not take actions. So not going to be drawing for them. Obviously, if they get that bonus attack, it'll use the ally attack modifier deck, but otherwise, no ability cards. They're just hanging out, waiting for me to come help them. Now, another thing about solo scenarios is they are meant to be a puzzle of sort that you have to kind of figure out and study, so there are no surprises. You are able to read the entire scenario. Technically, this entire room has not been revealed yet, not until the door opens. But just to kind of help me plan ahead, rather so I'm not looking and consulting at the book to see where enemies should be located, I've gone ahead and set everything up. So you can see, in the starting area, I've got 1, 2, 3 guards that I need to rescue. A bunch of enemies to deal with. Of course, the deep terrors aren't going to move. They're just going to snipe away. We've got a couple of imps and a couple of elementals that we're going to have to deal with, and more of the same in the next room where I will have to rescue 4 guards. Now, for Helo, I did draw a battle goal. I drew 3, chose 1. It's Sluggard, not a main goal of mine, but if opportunity presents itself towards the end of the scenario, if I could actually afford a long rest, then who knows? Maybe I will go ahead and do that. But in terms of the cards I am bringing, I'm not going to show you the cards only. I'm going to show you the cards I'm bringing. I'm showing you these 5 first because these are the first 5 I'm planning on playing. I figure the aptly titled Battlefield Medicine could be a real MVP here. So my plan is to use it twice in the first room, and we'll see how that goes. Of course, I know what I'm going to do on the first round, but things can always get thrown off right into round 2. Let's take a look at the other 5 cards I'm bringing. Definitely want to bring a good mix of attacks and healing, as I'm not just going to be running around saving guards. I will probably help fight the enemies as well. Although it should be noted, I do not have to kill all the enemies. That is not one of the battle goals. In fact, if I can avoid it, I'll probably try to ignore the deep terrors who don't move anyway. So if I can just get out of the room, they're no longer a problem. We'll see, though, how that works out. I don't often rely on prescriptions just because of the makeup of the way I'm playing with my other characters, but certainly think they will be useful if I can get them on my Inox ally here. A card that could be really interesting is Prep for Surgery in terms of using the bottom ability. I haven't done that yet in any of the games I've played with Helo to be able to convert movement or attack abilities into healing abilities. Again, we'll see. At the very minimum, it's good initiative, and the stun effect surely going to come in handy. So for round one, I could be buffing up my Inox ally with prescriptions. I am right next to him, but I think I want to get out there, limit what the enemies are doing. I really want to push out and get into things and maybe buff him a little bit later in the fight. We'll see how that strategy bears out, but with a move 4, I can get myself over here, which will allow me to give him a med pack. Also, he can then go over, well, I guess that guy will be disarmed, and then he'll probably be stunned, though depending on how the enemies move, he might be in a position to stun the Earth Demon. Unlikely, but we'll see how it goes. That'll put me in a good position to then move up and take care of the next guy as well, and potentially at that point, with some maneuvering, heal my ally or play a prescription. So, we'll see how things go on the first round. Like I said, I have an idea of how I want to do things on the first couple of rounds, but not necessarily locked into it. We'll now go over to the Xhaven app, where I have made sure that I am doing the 2nd edition scenario, not the 1st edition. I will be going on 38, and, well, the Black Imps are phasing out, which is fine by me. And I was aware, I did look at their attack modifier ability cards. I knew that the only way they could go faster than 38 was to do, it would not be an attack or movement. It would either be blessing and cursing or, in this case, the phase out. So wasn't planning on attacking them, but I will be able to stun them before they're able to go next turn. Of course, Hawthorne is going to do his nothing special on 30. And then we can see I'll get to go, and then it'll be Earth Demon, not attacking, and no element to consume. Yeah, I get to choose what element is created by the imps. It is not going to be Earth. The City Guards, I don't know why this had them draw a card. They're not doing anything. We'll ignore that. And then the Deep Terror, Rooted in Fear. So a range 5 attack. And locking people in place, that is going to be something I'm going to have to think about. All right, so yeah, with the immobilizing attack, that is definitely going to mix up things I was planning on doing. Round 2, definitely going to be different than what I thought I was doing, but it is good that that is the only attack I'm going to have to worry about. The Black Imps going first, as we said, they're just shielding, so they don't gain 5 shields, they give themselves 5 shields, but same difference at this point. They'll heal themselves, they haven't taken any damage. They'll generate an element, which I will have be wind. And the reason I'm choosing wind is because there is an ability card the Earth Demons can draw where it will reduce the effectiveness of their attack. Next up is Hawthorne, who's going to move for an attack 3. Again, I have control over that. So for a couple of reasons, I'm going to have him move down here. He'll attack the imp, not likely to do any damage. It is a base 3 attack, drawing from the ally attack deck. All right, so 0, no damage against the 5 shields. Now I'm up, and I am going to put to good use my new Hack to Bits by going 1, 2, 3, 4, which is then going to allow me to muddle the imp. Not that that matters, but it does matter that I'm going to be able to strengthen Hawthorne. Then I'll use the top part of Battlefield Medicine to disarm the Black Imp and give a med pack to the guard, which is going to heal him up, let him leave the battlefield, but inspired by the help I've given him, he will be able to do a move 3, attack 2. Now, there's only one enemy he can get to. I was thinking he'd go after the Black Imp, who's already disarmed, but no, he can't get next to the Black Imp, so instead he will target this guy and go 1, 2, 3 up over here, and now do a 2 attack against the Elemental. And Earth Demon, not Elemental, close enough, but it will go ahead, it will be a 2 attack, and we'll draw from the attack modifier deck, +1, so 3 damage to the Earth Demon, and it is stunned, so it won't be able to heal. The guard will then be removed from the board as he is rescued, and that is it for my turn. Next up are the Earth Demons, which have no movement. They're just healing up, so the Elite will stay where he is. This guy who was stunned will not heal. Then we've got the first enemy attack coming from the Deep Terror, who Would do a 2 attack with poison, nobody adjacent, they're not going to attack the guards, so then it is a 2 attack at range 5 with immobilize. And this guy here can't reach anybody. This guy is just within range of my ally, and this guy is in equal range of both of us, so he again will target my ally, who is the one with the lower initiative. So 2 attacks incoming. First one is going to be for 2 damage, the next one for just 1. That'll bring Hawthorne down to 13 and mark the end of round 1. For round 2, I am hoping that we can get rid of this Black Imp, more accurately that Hawthorne can do it, even if the Earth Demon moves up first. I don't even know if they can go before 30, but I do get to control where Hawthorne moves and attacks. So I can have him go ahead and attack the Black Imp. He does have advantage. Ideally, he'll kill the Imp, and then I can go ahead and give him the Syringe. If not, then I'll just have to do generic 2 attack, but definitely want to kill that Imp so then I can move over, give the guard a med pack, and then he'll go ahead and probably end up stunning the Deep Terror, so take that attack out for 1 round. Now, checking the enemies, it is going to be nothing. So Hawthorne leading off, then nothing special for the Black Imps. Moving 1, attacking range 3, so that's good. I'll just have to deal with the one in front of me who's disarmed anyway. Then, once again, the Earth Demon doing strong growth. So he will be able to heal back up to full, most likely, but at least he's not attacking. And then the Deep Terror doing the Beam of Annihilation, which, I guess as things stand right now, is going to target me. Hawthorne's up first. He's immobilized, not planning on moving anyway. He's just going to go ahead and attack the Imp. It is going to be a 3 attack because he is not at full health, but it was with advantage, so either a -2 or a -1. Not great, so just 2 damage. Next up are the Imps, starting with the Elite, and I've been saying all along this whole up, down, left, right. I don't know where I got that from. It must be from another hex-based game, because as was pointed out in one of my earlier videos that I just found out about, that is not the case in Gloomhaven. I double-checked the rules, so that's the way I've been playing it, but yeah, in Ambiguity, I get to choose, so it doesn't really matter here. I am going to do it that way. I'll just have the Black Imp move up there. He is not within range 3 of being able to attack, so that is it for him. The other one is disarmed, so he would just move towards an enemy for melee, but he's already there. Next up are the Earth Elementals, so this guy is just going to heal back to full, and that is going to do it for them. Now I'm up, and I could go for the more sure bet and do the 4 attack, but I'll take my chances. I've only got 1 -1 and a -2 in my deck, so I'm just going to do a 2 attack against the Black Imp, hopefully take it out, and then I'll be able to move into that space and heal the guard and have him go down and stun the Dark Terror. All right, so here we go. It is just going to be a base 2 attack and +1, so that will take out the Imp. Then I'll go ahead and use Hand of the Surgeon to show off my healing prowess as I will move here. We'll be collecting that loot, and then I will go ahead and give this guard a med pack. So he is then going to, very thankful and inspired, just move 1 down here and attack the Deep Terror. And that'll actually be a base 3 attack. If I said base 2 before, I was wrong. Not that it mattered, because the Earth Demon healed himself up. But a 3 attack with a 0 is going to be 3 damage. That will also stun the Deep Terror, which is good, because 1 Annihilation Beam is enough. He will be removed from the board, and I'll gain an XP. Speaking of Beams of Annihilation, here comes one from the Deep Terror up here. At least it is only going far enough to hit poor Hawthorne and not me. So that will be a 3 attack with 3 pierce. -1, so 2 damage. I think I might have to start healing him. And so here's where the strategy changes up a bit. I had designs on being halfway across the board on this round and just running around. I could get to the other guard and heal him this turn if I used my stamina potion. And if things had gone differently, I could still get to him with a move 6. Don't know that that's the best idea, though. I think I do need to start healing this guy up, getting a vaccine on him to help prevent some of the terrible conditions that are going to be coming his way. And then I can probably send him down to take out that Deep Terror. I think I probably am going to have to kill a lot of, maybe not all of these enemies, but a good number of them. This time I'm going very fast on 15. And for everybody else, city guards, not doing anything. You know what? I'm just going to... Honestly, I don't need that there. I'll probably just remove them after this round. Hawthorne going to be going after me, followed by the Black Imp. Again, only 3 range, so yeah, I think I'll be able to get away from the Elite. The Deep Terror, Rooted Fear, so definitely want to make sure we kill that guy. And last but not least, a Calculated Strike from the Earth Demon. Again, I'll be able to get out of its range. I'm up first. This one's real simple. I'm going to heal Hawthorne for 4 and give him the prescription so that he can prevent negative conditions. I'll gain an XP for that. Now Hawthorne's up with his movement and attack, so I'm going to have him move down here so that he is away and out of range of any enemy attacks, and then he will go ahead and attack the Deep Terror. So this will be a 3 attack. -1 is 2, but that's enough. Next up, the sole remaining Black Imp will just move closer to do his Dark Charm. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, just out of range. The Deep Terrors are attacking a ranged 5. We'll melee first, then a ranged 5 attack, but as you can see, I am out of range of both of them. Finally, the Earth Demons doing a Calculated Strike. This guy will just move 1 closer. He'll move 1 closer, and that's going to do it for round 3. Round 4, and much as I'd love to just run away from this elemental or this demon, I do think we're going to have to deal with it, although it's a lot of damage to deal, so maybe I will ultimately end up just running away from it, depending on how the board goes. I really need to deal with that imp, which is a bit of a concern as it's getting closer and going to be able to start doing damage to us. But for this round, well, I'm going to go late, so we'll see how things develop. I'm on 79. Hopefully being able to do a little bit more healing on Hawthorne. And hey, if things keep up with the Earth Demons as they've been going, I don't know, maybe they'll just heal themselves again. Probably wishful thinking, but let's see. As Black Imps, once again, doing a Dark Charm. There is an element available. There is Earth, so they'll be able to get multiple targets if they can get within range. Well, they're going to be able to get within range of me because I can't get away. Then a Beam of Annihilation from the Deep Terror, which fortunately not going to affect me, and I can move Hawthorne away from that. And then finally, Earth Demon doing an Earthen Eruption, attacking multiple targets. So, all right, I've got a lot to think about here. Hawthorne is up first, and I'm looking at it. There's no way he can avoid the attack from the non-elite Earth Demon. He can stay out of range of the elite. He can stay out of range of the Black Imp. So I think that's my best call for him. He does have 4 movement, so I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is going to force the Earth Demon to come a little bit closer, and that'll be the only attack he takes. Doesn't get to do an attack, but that's okay. I think ultimately we are going to try and ignore at least one of these Earth Demons. Next up is the Black Imp, who cannot get within range of Hawthorne, but he can get within range of me. So he will move here. He'll do, I'm pretty sure he will consume the Earth, even though it doesn't give him the extra target. Even though he can't reach the other target, he'll still do it anyway, would be my assumption. He'll then do a 1 attack against me with poison. That is going to be 1 damage. And it will also curse me. Next up, the Deep Terrors doing their Beam of Annihilation, but fortunately, I continue to be out of range. Now, I'm up, and it had been my intention to do things the other way around, but anywhere I move is just going to allow the Earth Demon to attack both me and my ally. And if I go up to absorb the attack, that is going to invite invite an attack from the elite. So I think my best bet here is to just stay where I am. And since I'm going to do that, I might as well make the best of it and give myself a blood transfusion. Using the bottom part, I'll be able to get rid of my poison and give myself a med pack. Oh, and I also get to safeguard myself, which works out really nicely since I plan on using hamstring. Well, if I do, for a move 6 next turn, won't have to worry about immobilizing myself. I do gain a med pack. Speaking of immobilizing myself, it is the med pack that lets me heal 6. Last up, if I really wanted, I could use my Iron Spear to go ahead and do an attack against this guy, and maybe it'd be worth it if he were damaged and I could stun him, but he's not. I can't, so I am just going to not bother using that card. Finally, for the round, we do have the Earth Demons, so he's going to move up 2, and this is where I'm going to take advantage of, since either one will move him closer to his target without actually getting him there, I'm going to have him move down here, which is at least going to allow me some space to potentially get around him. And then the other one is going to go ahead, and it does need to move up. It's going to target him because he's closer. Or they're both one away. He's going to target him because he's got the lower initiative. And then we'll go ahead and do a 2 attack. So that is going to be 2 damage. That'll bring Hawthorne back down to 13 damage, and that is the end of the round. Here's my plan for round 5. Probably not optimal use of the top card, since I'm just probably going to be healing myself, but and not have a condition to remove. But really, I want to make sure I'm going fast so I can do the move 6, and before my narrow gap through here closes off. We'll go ahead and take a look, see what the enemies are doing. Well, the imp is phasing out. I have no problem with that. For the Earth Demon, they're healing. We're back to round 1, and yeah, I guess I could have waited, that being the case. Unfortunately, I've already made my decision on my initiative. Can't switch it around. We should also look at what the Deep Terror is doing. Hey, it's another Beam of Annihilation. Black Imp is first. It'll shield up, and I will have it generate wind, and now I'm up. So now Helo's up, and he is going to use Hamstring, and hopefully not pull his, as he is going to be using all that movement to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, putting him in position next to the guard, who he will be able to help out with the med pack next turn. He would immobilize himself, but the safeguard will prevent that. Then the other question is what to do with the top card. I could use my Iron Spear to do an attack on this guy up here, start to bring him down, hopefully to have the guard finish him off, but honestly, I don't know that I'm not going to need to kill that thing off. It does potentially threaten this space, but only with one certain type of attack. So I think the better thing to do, I'm just going to heal myself, back up to full, hold on to the item in case I don't long rest. Now Hawthorner's up, and he is going to do a move 4. Going to have to go around this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, as this is not actually a space, so that is a wall. And then I do have a 3 attack. I'm probably not going to be very effectual, but I will go ahead and draw. So it is 3 damage. I'm not going to bother marking it off. That guy's just going to heal it a little bit later. That does put him in the line of fire of this guy, but fortunately he's going to target this way. So he is not going to get attacked, and that is going to do it for his turn. Next up are the Earth Demons, and again, I generated wind earlier, so they will just heal up. They are not going to immobilize, but they will generate Earth. And just to backtrack one step, as the Deep Terrors are going, I'm just going to slide him back here because the Deep Terror is going to be shooting this way. No reason to take that damage from him. As for the one up here, again, he will target Helo, and so that is going to be a 3 attack with 3 pierce, so little point in using my shields here. It's going to be 3 damage. And actually, one other thing, going back to Helo's turn, I only have 1 card in hand. It's the med pack, so I do need to go ahead and use my stamina potion. I am going to go ahead and get back a card that will allow me to give out a med pack. Moving on to round 6, my plan, as I said, is to go ahead and save this guard, and then got the med pack, so I'll be able to heal myself back up. So going over to Gloomhaven with Helo on 50. It is going to be a Dark Charm from the Black Imp. Not sure I'm going to be able to avoid us both getting targeted by that. Won't be too bad against Hawthorne, though, because he's still got the vaccine up. Then the Earth Demon, just moving 1, so that's good. I can get away from them. And the Deep Terror, Terrible Growth, doing 1 attack at range 6, and it's going to summon another. That's not great, but I wonder if I might not be able to use that to my advantage. All right, well, I was thinking maybe I could take advantage of the Terrible Growth to go somewhere like here and then have it block off this spot so I can't get attacked. That said, the Earth Demons are going first. So in this case, I just need to make sure I don't get whacked by the Earth Demons. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, which is pretty much the only place I can go that'll keep me away from the Earth Demons. Next up will be the Black Imp, which is already in range 3 of both, so it doesn't need to move. Doesn't really matter what element it consumes. I'll have it consume the Earth, and it will go ahead and do a 1 attack at both Helo and Hawthorne. I will be poisoned and cursed. The good news is Helo will not, because I have vaccine up, so that'll prevent both of those conditions. So I will go ahead and see first the attack against Hawthorne is just going to be 1 damage. Then the attack against Helo is going to be 2 damage. Now Helo's up, his turn, pretty straightforward. He's going to go ahead and give a med pack to this guard, who will then turn before he leaves and attack the nearest enemy. So that will be +1, so 3 damage to that guy, and he's stunned. And then the guard will take off. Actually, to give myself a little flexibility, I'll move here before I give the med pack. Then I'll go ahead and heal myself, which unfortunately just going to remove the poison. The Earth Demons are up next. This is a case where I can choose where I want this guy to go, here or here. I will have him move here, as I can potentially block him off a little bit more, kind of slow him down, since I am going to be moving towards the door. And then this guy will move up here. Finally, we've got the Deep Terror. That one's stunned, not going to attack. The one over here, going to go ahead and do a 1 attack against Hawthorne, which is going to be 2 damage. Then I do have to summon another Deep Terror. It doesn't specify where, so I'm assuming I can put it wherever I want. If it had to be closest to another person, it would be here anyway, but I think this is my best call. That keeps both of them in a line. So if they are doing the beam attack, it's that same spot that's being threatened, which I can then hopefully avoid. That is going to do it for the round, but I now need to take a short rest. Also, I went ahead and gave Helo the XP he should have gained for giving out the med pack. I removed vaccine, only had 1 use left, felt that was better to shuffle into the mix, and I ended up losing, with my short rest, syringe. One change I'm going to make, as I did my planning for round 7, I actually am going to put this guy here because I realized I need Helo to end up by the door, which would put him in the line of fire of both of those beam attacks. So, moving on to round 7, also you can see I'm now showing Hawthorne's character info, keep track of his health there. He's at 10 of 20. For this round, I need to position myself, get by the door, hopefully not take too many attacks. Not much to be done for it, but we'll be able to, at this point, probably use my spear to get off an attack on some enemy. I guess it'll probably end up being the guy down here, just so I can do some healing. And I had to be very deliberate in kind of figuring out how, this is where I was taking a look at the next room, figuring out which route I want to take, kind of run up to this guard first, but I'm going to need 4 movement in order to get through the door and into one of these rubble piles. Then from there, I could head over in this direction, maybe get this guard next, possibly this one, depending on how the board lays out. I will have my move 6 available. So just kind of thinking ahead, this is where I landed. As usual, the enemies can destroy it all, so let's see what they're doing here. All right, so the imp is doing nothing, just the one. And moving down the line, so the Deep Terror is going to be acting on 78 and disarming the person next to it, and then doing a 2 attack at range 3. All right, well, that already... Yeah, that's fine. I just won't stand next to a Deep Terror. The Earth Demon doing a Reckless Charge, which is not great, as they are going to be able to get some movement in. Might not be able to avoid that attack, but at least the wind is up. I can't remember. Yeah, it should still be up from last round. Even if it's not, I'm going to be able to have the imps generate it. So we'll kick off with the imp, and yeah, they'll heal, shield, and generate wind for me. Thanks, Black Imps. Next up is Hawthorne, and actually, just to reduce, I'm going to take damage anyway, probably from an attack. So for that point, I might as well move next to this guy and hopefully take him out with a couple of attacks. So with Helo going next. So Hawthorne will move up. He'll then be able to do a 3 attack, which is going to be 3 damage. Unfortunately, Hawthorne will take 2 retaliate damage, dropping him down to 8. Next up, Helo will use his move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. To get next to the door, he will then... there's nobody to muddle, but he will strengthen Hawthorne. So then I'm going to go ahead and I will attempt to do a blood transfusion, doing a 3 attack against the Deep Terror. Unfortunate that I can't do more, as it is... The most I can deal to it is 2 damage, which means that's all I can heal, but I do need to make sure I kill it. And so that attack is going to be a 2 or 3 plus 2 is 5. So I actually would have been able to kill it, but what are the odds of that? So yeah, I'm going to hit it for 5. That will kill it. No retaliate damage, and I will be able to heal Hawthorne for 2. So in round 7, I want to get out of this room, get away from some of these enemies, and the only way that Hawthorne is going to be able to do that is if I can get rid of his immobilize. So I am going to be going fast on 8, so I can do that. I don't really want to use up both my heal cards, my top heal cards in this action, but I need a move 4. I realize the one thing, and if I don't beat the scenario... at least one thing I'll change is to get another good movement card in here so that I can save my healing card for healing, which I pretty much need to do every cycle through the deck. I should be okay in a position to just take a quicker rest. More important that I get on the move in the next room and be able to move up next to this guy, which is why I need the move 4. So, having picked my cards, time to see what the enemies are going to do. I am on 8, and everybody else is slower. So the Dark Charm for the Black Imps, I am going to have to be wary of the ones in the next room. One advantage, I haven't opened the door yet, and I know what everybody's going to be doing. Deep Terror, going to be attacking at range 5 and immobilizing, so that's good to know. Earth Demons are going to be on the move. Okay, so... with all that information, time to get moving. All right, this has definitely turned out to be a rough draw of enemy abilities, but I can't change what I'm doing at this point. Don't know that I'm going to even use all move 4. I'll have to see, but I am definitely going to do the 3 heal, remove the immobilize from Hawthorne. So first up, first point of movement, I will open the door. Of course, we reveal all the enemies and add them into X-Haven. Okay, a little bit more in here than I anticipated. I thought this was a guard. It's an Earth Demon. So the plus side is I only have 3 guards that I need to rescue, not 4. So I think that is better. Hopefully I can outrun that guy. Now, my original plan had been to go to this spot. As I said, this was a bad enemy draw for me because if I go to that spot, I will draw attacks from 1, 2, 3, 4 enemies, which is more than I think I can handle. So I am going to have to play it a little safe and not go exactly where I wanted. And we'll have to figure out what I'm going to do next turn. But I'm just going to end there instead. So And that is actually going to make a world of difference, as you'll see as I move around the enemies. But that's going to be it for Helo's turn. Now, free to move, he will go 1, 2, 3, 4. That should keep him out of range of actually any attacks. I'll be absorbing all the attacks this time. So then he can go ahead, well, except for this guy, unless he can take him out. So let's see what happens with that. It's going to be a 3 attack against the Black Imp, and with a Muddle and a Strengthen, just a straight up draw, and +1. Okay, so do manage to take that guy out. That is fortunate. So 1 less attack I will have to worry about. Next up are the Black Imps. This guy will move 1 out. Doesn't have anybody within range 3. This guy will move up next. Nobody within range 3. And then he will move up. Nobody within range 3. So that much is fortunate, at least, for now. Now the Deep Terror. This could be problematic, but it just may mean I'm taking a rest earlier than I planned. So this guy over here is going to attack me since we are equidistant. It'll be a 3 attack with Immobilize. So that is going to be -1, 2 damage to Helo. Finally, we've got the Earth Demons who are all moving too, starting with this guy. We'll head up here. And then this guy moving over here. Not able to get anybody in their spray pattern. He will move closer to me. Can't move into the rubble. But that is why he would have hit me there. And then finally, this guy also moving up. It is starting to get crowded here. There's a lot to consider here at the end of the turn in terms of what I'm going to do next turn. I don't think I can afford to just sit here. I do want to draw the enemies towards me, ideally, but I think I'm in a bad way if I'm immobilized. So I am going to go ahead and take a short rest, and you can see the card I ended up losing, even though I only have 4 cards in the discard pile, is hacked to bits. So now I have back my card that will allow me to remove the immobilize and go on the move. And then I can kind of see what the enemies are doing, either stay kind of in the middle if it looks safe enough, position myself next to the guard so I can heal him and then run, or just start making my way towards the corner. I could always circle back around, come to this guy last, potentially. We'll see. But at a minimum, I do want to be able to move. Having done the short rest, I can now move in to round 8. And apologies, this is actually round 8 that I'm finishing out, so now having done my short rest, I can prepare for round 9. So here's my plan for the round. I don't actually plan on using the bottom part of Vaccine at this point. I am just going to use it for generic movement. So let's check out the enemies. They are going to be going... All right, well, don't have to worry about the imps this turn, so that's good. Of course, generating an element, which, again, will be wind. What else do we got? I need to remove those city guards. We have the Deep Terror doing the Beam of Annihilation, so I'll just have to pay attention to what spots are not safe from that standpoint. And nothing special from the Earth Demons. So first up, the Black Imps, just shielding up and generating wind, and also healing, but they haven't taken any damage. So first things first for Helo, he will heal himself for 3 and remove the Immobilize. Now, for Helo's movement, I am going to use my comfortable shoes, so a generic 2 becomes a generic 3, and I'm actually going to move on to this rubble pile, which is... maybe questionable, but by doing this, I can avoid any attack from the Earth Demon and also have it move out of this bottleneck towards us. So that's going to do it for Helo's turn. Now, Hawthorne is up, and I'm actually going to have him go 1, 2, 3, 4 over here, which is going to put him in the line of fire of this guy, but out of range of this one, who's only got a range of 5. I could attack this thing. I don't think it's worth it. Certainly, there might be advantages to having it down in health, even if I could kill it, but I'm not going to be able to kill it. I'm going to need to focus on killing other enemies. Can't afford the retaliate damage, so I will just hang there. That'll be it for his turn. Now the Deep Terrors are up, and this guy up here will go ahead and attack Hawthorne. It'll be a 3 attack, so 3 damage. And that's actually a 4 attack. Now the Earth Demons are up, doing nothing special, starting with the Elite, who will make his way in here. Then this non-Elite is going to go here, and this guy, I guess, is going to be targeting me. So I can choose between here and here. I will move him this way. Yeah. And then last but not least, this guy will also move up on to the pile of rubble. With his 2 movement, they'll generate Earth, and that is going to do it for the round. So for round 10, time to go saving some more people, going fast to do it. We'll say one thing that, definitely I hate having to use my heal card again for movement. If I do have to play a scenario, I'm definitely bringing this card. Just to have the 5 movement, it's really necessary to have that extra movement, but I still may be able to pull it off. Let's see. And I have to admit, I think in this situation, I probably would have just played the same card, even if I had the other one available for initiative. I want to make sure the elementals do have the potential to go in the 40s. Don't want that to happen. So I will be going on 19, and it will be, oh god, a hasty assault from the Earth Demon. That is not the draw you want to see. I can probably get out of the way of it, but I was really hoping, well, then again, if they're following me around, maybe it's not a bad thing. Maybe I'll then be able to run up north. I do eventually need them away from the other guard that they're all near right now. And then for the Black Imp, just moving 1, only attacking at range 3, so I'm actually not going to have to worry about them this round. Finally, the Deep Terror, might have to worry about. We'll have to see what I can do positioning-wise, or I might just have to eat another one of those attacks. Regardless, Helo will kick things off with a move 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And then he can go ahead and do Battlefield Medicine, perfectly positioned, that I can disarm this guy. So yeah, actually I don't have to worry about the attack. And then I can give a med pack to the guard. I'll gain an XP. The guard, this actually did work out as I planned, realizing he would not be able to get to this guy because I've got him blocked off, will instead run up here, and he will attack this guy, who I think eventually I'm going to need to kill just to get through there. And stun him. That's going to be a 3 attack at disadvantage because that one's elite, so no damage. Now Hawthorner's up, and I'm going to have him see if he can succeed where the guard did not. Moving 1, 2, 3 up here, and then he'll go ahead and attack the imp. And that attack, again at disadvantage, a 3 attack, either +1 or a ×2. So that's really good. That is 4 damage. Now the Earth Demons are up, focusing on Helo, so their fastest path through this rubble, so he'll go up here next to the rubble with 2 movement, is as close as he can get. Then the non-elite will be able to move into the rubble with 3 movement, followed by this guy, who I think this is as close as he can get. So yeah, no advantage to going any other space. Then this guy on the rubble can go 1, 2, 3, I believe, is going to be his path. Next up are the Black Imps, who are moving 1 and attacking range 3. So this guy slowly making his way to the mix. This guy heading back this way. Yeah, that's the closer move for him. Of course, this guy is stunned. So he is not attacking, and that is it for them. Finally, the Deep Terrors. Again, this guy just shoots in a line, gets nothing, and this guy is disarmed, so does not attack. Round 11, and Helo's a bit boxed in here, but I'm not without options. It is possible that Hawthorne might be able to take out the Black Imp, in which case I can just run through there. The other possibility is that if Hawthorne doesn't take out the Black Imp, if the Imp has a range attack, which it usually does, it will move out of the way, which should also clear an opening for me. But to give myself the best chance, I am going to go on 79 initiative. Now, taking a look at the enemies. Alright, so Earth Demons not moving. That is good news, and there are no elements. Deep Terror going quicker than it usually does. A Ray of Hate. Well, I don't like that. That is going to be rough. And then, well, Black Imps are going on 76, a Calculated Strike. So Hawthorne is going to lead things off, and actually this is a pretty important attack because with the Calculated Strike, the Imps are not moving. So I will not have any way out, but we'll see. Disadvantage, first is a 0. Okay, we have hope. The second is a +1. Okay, so a 0, he does do 3 damage, manages to take that imp out, so I do have an opening to get out of here. This large pack of Earth Demons is doing nothing of consequence. They're all full health. They'll heal up some more. No Earth for them to immobilize me. Next up is the Deep Terror, and this is going to be painful. He is going to wound and poison Helo, and then he is going to go ahead and do a 4 attack. At least the attack will be at disadvantage. So either going to be a -1 or a +1. It's a -1. That's another +1 from the poison. No, the poison comes after. So, no, actually the poison comes first. So yeah, Helo takes 4 damage. At least he did not immobilize me. The Black Imps are up next. They are attacking at range 3, not moving, so nothing. Oh, and I should not forget about the Deep Terror down here, but it is a range 4 attack, so fortunately Hawthorne just out of range. Now Helo's up, and while it might be nice to do a blood transfusion on the bottom to get rid of all of these negative conditions, I'm going to get out of here, and perhaps I'll do that next turn. I'll just take a short rest. But let's see how this goes, as I do have a move 6 with the hamstring, so I'm going to be able to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on our way to rescue the guy down here. That, of course, will immobilize me, but then I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to do a 3 attack, and I'm also going to use my power potion, see if maybe I can take this guy out, and do I stun him as well? I don't think so. I can go fast enough to take him out next round. Would you believe this is the 3rd time in this game I have drawn an attack card? Has not happened a lot. It'd be nice if I kill this guy so I don't take the retaliate damage, because I also took a wound damage. But here we go. It is going to be... It's going to be a +1. So that is... A 3 attack +1 is a 4, plus the power potion is 5. Okay, I am not going crazy. I did the math right. I do manage to take this out. That was clutch. Obviously, not going to disarm myself to stun it, although certainly could have afforded to do so because I don't plan on attacking next round. At this point, I do need to take a short rest so that I don't think it's, again, good for me to be immobilized. I want to be able to remove that condition, get rid of my wound and poison. So I will go ahead, take the short rest. There's the card I lost. That's fine. And at this point, despite the low health and all the negative conditions, I think I'm in good shape. I think 3 turns it'll take me to finish this out. But let's go ahead and see what the enemies have in store. I'm going very fast on 8, and hey, the imps are phasing out again. I was going to go up and whack that guy. Now I'm not going to be able to do any damage to him. What a shame. But we've got just really the question. So the Earth Demons are... They are throwing boulders, so yeah, glad I decided to head south and not north, although I guess I could make that decision in the moment. The Deep Terror doing terrible growth. That's kind of annoying, but will I be able to get out of range of it? We'll have to see. You know, when I'm fighting Forest Imps, there is no ability I hate more than Phase Out, and in this scenario, there is nothing I love more. they'll go ahead and generate wind. Helo's up. I will take the wound damage down to 4, and then go ahead and heal my poison and my wound, get rid of my immobilize, and then I can use the bottom card for generic movement to move down next to the guard. Next up is Hawthorne, who would like to live, so he's going to get as far away as he can from that pack of Earth Demons. Not quite far enough, but 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll have to see if he can survive. One of the non-elites is just in range to do a 4 attack, and that is going to be, a 3 attack. It's a non-elite, so that's going to be 3 damage to Hawthorne. Then the Deep Terror is going to go ahead and do a 2 attack against Hawthorne, so that is going to be 2 more damage. Then I do have to summon one next to him, so the growth will be over here. And that's going to do it for the Deep Terrors. That's going to do it for the round. For round 13, my plan is to take care of this guard and then start making my way over to the other one. We'll see if Hawthorne can survive. He's down to 3 health. Fortunately, him surviving is not a requirement of the scenario. Thank goodness. Okay. Nothing special for him going before. Nothing special for the Black Imps attacking at range 3. The Deep Terror attacking at range 5. That could be a problem. Not sure I'm going to be able to get out of the way of that attack. And the Earth Elementals moving 2 and doing an eruption. Helo's up first, and first things first, once again, the Battlefield Medic to heal up this guy, who will then run up and attack the imp, and more importantly, stun it. So that'll be a 3 attack at disadvantage. Is going to be a miss, but it is still stunned. Then Helo will do Hawthorne a solid by putting himself in position to take the attacks instead of him. So 1, 2, 3, 4. He'll go there. That'll be it for Helo's turn. Now Hawthorne's up, and perhaps he's realized, as noble as it is to fight, this is a fight we cannot win. So it is his turn to go move 1, 2, 3, 4, cower in the corner. Next up are the Black Imps. This guy not doing anything as he is stunned. And then we still do have the other guy all the way out here who is stuck outside the door waiting for the bouncer to let him in so he can join the party in this room, but not this turn. Next up, we have the Deep Terrors. Fortunately, we're out of range of this guy. I'm at 6 range. This is only a range 5 attack. Of course, we ignore the first attack, which is just a melee one. This guy, however, is in range. And this one's for you, Hawthorne, because I am taking one for the team. I am going to be taking, Helo will be taking the 2 attack with Immobilize. That is going to be, it's going to be +1. So that's 3 damage, which is going to knock him down to 1. Also, he's immobilized and can't move, but it's all right. I have a plan. Next up is the Brute Squad, and they're just all going to make their way towards Helo. Last order of business for the round, I do need to take a short rest so I can get the cards I need. I ended up losing Prep for Surgery, no problem. Round 14, down to 1 health, immobilized. Don't think I'm going to be getting that battle goal of taking a long rest while at full health. That's okay. Let's finish things out. Helo going very fast on 8, and the enemies, we have a Hasty Assault, a Dark Charm, and a Horrible Glare. Let's see if we can survive it. Helo will kick things off. Once again, I will use Curative Mixture to heal himself for 3 and remove the Immobilize, and then he can use Hand of the Surgeon to just move up 1, give this guard a med pack. The amped up guard will turn around and stun the Earth Demon behind him. I guess, sure, we'll go ahead and draw the attack. It's going to be a 0, so that will be 3 damage dealt to the Earth Demon. Hawthorne's up next, and we're just going to tell him to stay where he is. I'll be down to help him out in a moment. First, let me fend off all these enemies. Earth Elementals are next with a Hasty Assault, so 1, 2, 3. This guy will go here. He will attack Helo, For a 4 attack, a +1 is 5, so I'll lose a card to prevent that. And then the next one will come in, number 2. Actually, not going to be able to get there. He's just going to go 1, 2, 3. This guy will be able to get in, and he'll also, maybe the other one, doesn't even matter. But one of them will get in, will do an attack. And that attack is going to be another one, so I will lose another card. Then we've got the Black Imp, who will take a step back and attack Helo for 1. No element to consume for another target, so that's good. That's 2 damage. And I didn't update it after Helo's turn, but obviously with the heal, he should have gone up to 4 and gained an XP. Now he takes 2 damage down to 2. He was also immobilized once again by the Elite. The other, we're not going to worry about this guy. Sure. We'll let him at least enter the door. So he's going to move there. No attack. The Deep Terrors are doing a horrible, terrible, no good, very bad glare, but I am not in range, so don't have to worry about that. And that is going to do it. With 2 cards in the discard pile, 2 cards left in hand, I have survived, and I have rescued all of the guards. So let's read the conclusion. Many died in the attack, but you take solace in having saved all that you could. Hawthorne is especially grateful, he better be, and commissions a special coat to be made for you. You head back to your room, and, like always, the endless screams of dying people in your memories eventually give way to a peaceful sleep. And here we are at the end of the scenario. You can see my reward. The solo item is the Doctor's Coat. This seems like a good one, although I'll have to bring 1 less faction item in. Though I did bring 4 into this scenario with the faction item, so I now have 31 votes. So I believe I'll have to double check the personal quest. I think next time I have a city phase, which actually won't be until after I do another scenario with all 3 of them. But I think once I get back, I could then proceed, or I think I'm allowed to stick around and accumulate some more support, some more votes. I'm not sure. I'll double check the personal quest. But I do now have the Doctor's Coat, which allows me, when allies take damage, I'm able to move up to them, which should definitely come in handy. I gained a whopping 1 gold token, so 3 gold, and 18 XP. Obviously, it did not complete my battle goal, but there you go. And so that does it for the Sawbones solo scenario. A really interesting scenario. I really like the design and the layout with all the difficult areas to get to, especially once you get into that larger open room. It reminds me a lot of any kind of, shooter game where you're having to navigate, run around, especially if you ever play those games as a medic. Did a really good job of capturing that feel. As I'm running around trying to avoid fire while the soldiers are going off and I'm giving them orders. Very cool. I would definitely, if I played it again, would do it differently. I would get Hand of the Surgeon into play pretty early. Clearly, I had plenty of cards to get through. Stamina was not an issue this game. Attacking is not necessary. As I kind of identified early on, it's a trap. There are certain enemies that you do need to kill, and I think not having to get so lucky with the attack deck, if you can get your ally Hawthorne up to 5 attack by having him at 20, by having the prescription on him, then he's in a good position to take out the enemies you really need to kill. And then, of course, in order to keep his health up, I think with Hand of the Surgeon, you'd have an easier time doing that, because then instead of doing an attack, you could do a heal. So that's the biggest change. Like I said earlier, I would also include more movement, just to have that flexibility to be able to run around and not have to use your heal cards. But still doable with the mix I chose, as you saw from this video. I hope you enjoyed that. Next Gloomhaven session, we will be back to regularly scheduled programming, as I'm going to get the team back together. They've already done their city phase. I will run through the city phase for the Cthulhu head, who we have not seen do a solo yet. He's only level 4, but once he gets to level 5, we'll do his as well. If you like the video, please give me a like, subscribe, let other people know about it, especially with these solo scenarios. People may be avoiding some of them because they don't want to be spoiled on all the classes, but if you know somebody who's playing the Sawbones, maybe they'd be interested in checking this out. But otherwise, as always, until next time, and thanks for watching.